Hey everyone, who wants to hear a story? This is a story about my best friend in the entire world when I was a child. His name was George. Me and George, we used to do everything together. We were inseparable. We ate together, we slept together, we bathed together, we played together, we did everything together. We were like two peas in a pod. It was me and George. The world was our oyster, and we were gonna shuck it. Me and George used to play all kinds of fun games. Like, we used to play doctor. For some reason, George was always the doctor. And he didn't have a real stethoscope, so he used to use his mouth stethoscope. Which, looking back on it now, was kind of awkward, because the only place he was able to get an accurate pulse reading with his mouth stethoscope was in the crotch. But that was just one of the games me and George used to play. My favorite was Spaceman and Alien. One day, me and George just got done playing a game of Doctor out in the backyard, in this cool little place in the woods where we used to hang out. And George looks at me and says, "How about a game of Spaceman and Alien?" And I'm like, "Sure, that's awesome." And he goes, "Can I be the spaceman this time?" And now, you gotta understand from this point of view. I was like an 8-year-old child, and children don't like change very much. I was always the spaceman, George was always the alien. That's just the way shit was back then. I mean, if something's not broken, don't fix it. So anyway, George got really angry, and he threw a brick at my head. And it hurt a lot, and I bled a lot. And I went inside to see my mommy and get bandaged up. And she looked at me and said, "Zach, who did that to you?" I said it was George. I suppose it was my fault, though. I told him he couldn't be the spaceman. My mommy looked at me and she said, "Zach, don't you think you're getting a little too old to be hanging out with George? Like, why can't any of the other kids see him?" And I looked at Mommy and I said, "That's easy. It's because I'm special. Only special people can see George. That's why he's my best friend ever, because I'm the only one special enough to see him." Mommy started to yell and say words that I never heard before, and I totally forgot the back door was open, and George heard it all. I went outside to look for George, and Mommy scared him away. I looked everywhere, up and down, left and right, backwards, forwards, inside, outside, and I couldn't find him anywhere. I searched all day until the sun started to set and the moon started to come up. And since I wasn't allowed out after dark, I sat on my back porch and I waited for George to come back. But he never did. Until finally Mom called me for bed. And before I went up to bed, I looked up at the starry, starry night sky, and I said, "George, you son of a bitch! You're supposed to be my best friend! Why would you do this to me? Who just deserts me? One day I'm gonna find you! I'm gonna find you and it's gonna be winter time, and I'm gonna stab you with a super sharp bicycle, you no good son of a bitch cock-sucking prick!" And George never came back. I cried for weeks and weeks. I just missed my best friend so much. It hurts so much to think about it now. But about 30 years went by. I don't live in my mommy's attic anymore. I'm all grown up now. I live in the basement. One day, I was sitting in my basement, counting all my Star Trek memorabilia and playing WoW. I have a level 50 druid. You should really come online and play with me. Nobody ever plays with me. Not even any of the other WoW players like me. Nobody likes me. Only George liked me. And then, I heard a voice, familiar from the past. It was George. I said, "George, where are you? I can't see you." He said, "Zach, we're playing a game again." "Really? We're playing a game?" "Yeah, just like we used to. We're gonna play scavenger hunt. But first, you need to take a nap. That way you're well rested for the game. And I'm gonna try and get Mommy to play with us." I got excited, and I curled up on my couch and I took a nap. And I slept for maybe an hour or two. And I woke up, and there was a finger paint drawing in front of me with red finger paint. Me and George used to always color with finger paints. It was one of our favorite things to do. Aside from Doctor and Spaceman and Alien and Tag and playing in the woods, it was pretty much our favorite. I used to always draw cool pictures like kitties and puppies and houses and mommies and daddies. And George used to draw people missing parts of their body. I suppose it was abstract art. Everybody thought Picasso was nuts at one point in time, too. So I decided I was going to go and look for George and see if he was ready to start playing. I looked all over the house and I couldn't find them. So I figured I'd go ask Mommy if she saw George, because maybe Mommy was special enough to see George now, since George wanted us to play with her. So I go up and I get into Mommy's room, and there, on Mommy's bed, watching Mommy's TV, in Mommy's lingerie, was George. I said, "George, where's Mommy?" He said, "Mommy's already playing the game. We're playing hide and go seek scavenger hunt. You have to follow the clues to find Mommy. I left finger paint clues all over the place for you." I was so excited that I totally forgot to ask George why he was wearing Mommy's panties and bras. That I ran right outside and started looking for my first clue. I followed clues all day long until I finally found one, a map. There was an X on the map, and there's always treasure at the end of the map where the X is. So I took a walk out into the woods, and I kept walking. And I finally got to where the X was. And there, arranged in a pile of sticks with a shovel by it, was the X. So I started to dig and dig and dig and dig until I hit something. And I dug in the dirt with my hands, and there was red finger paint all over my hands. And I'm like, "Ooh, this isn't the end. George, you sly dog, you." I can't believe it. He tried to trick me and leave me one last clue under the X. And I pulled up the clue, but there's just one problem. That clue wasn't a clue. It was my Mommy's severed head. So I started to run back home. And I kept running. Hey, wait a second. I swear to God, I just passed that rock before. Oh well, this is no time to be getting distracted. Is anybody else wondering what I'm wondering? It took me like 2 seconds to get here, but like, why is it taking me like 2 hours to get back? And why the fuck is that rock still there? Anyway, like, maybe my mom deserved to get her head cut off. What kind of mother lets her son play this far out in the woods? And I got back to the house. And I went straight up the stairs and into Mommy's room. And there, still in Mommy's bed, still watching Mommy's TV, only out of Mommy's lingerie, and playing with her lightsabers. You know, come to think of it, I don't know why Mommy called them lightsabers. Like, they were cool, all kinds of cool colors and stuff, and they made the cool noise, but they really didn't do anything too lightsabery at all. And they kind of smelled like fish. And I looked at George, there, laying in the bed. And I got down on my hands and knees, and I had a question for him. I asked, George, you son of a bitch, why'd you cut my mother's head off? What kind of friend are you? First you desert me, now you cut my mom's head off? I got news for you. It's fucking winter time, you asshole. I'ma go find the biggest, sharpest icicle there is out there. I'ma stab you in the fucking face. Why do you keep doing this shit to me? What is wrong with you? Do you have like some kind of chemical malfunction in your brain? How do you do these things? Seriously, you suck! And from that day on, me and George lived happily ever after. Story time is over, boys and girls.